Have you ever stopped to think what would happen to your body if you simply stopped drinking for 30 days? I'm not talking about giving up everything forever or becoming a different person. I'm talking about a month, 30 days, and what science has already discovered about what happens inside when you do that. Because the truth is that most people who take on this challenge are completely surprised by what they feel, and not always in the way they expected. Some people sleep better than they have in years. Some people lose weight without changing anything about their diet. Some people look in the mirror in week 3 and don't recognize their own skin. And some people feel unwell during the first 72 hours and almost give up before reaching the best part. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what happens to your body, week by week, when you eliminate alcohol from your life for 30 days. No exaggeration, no miracle promises, just what studies really show. Let's get started. For many people, the first few hours after alcohol stops entering the body are the most difficult of all. And that makes sense when you understand what alcohol does to your nervous system. Alcohol is a depressant. This means it slows down the activity of the central nervous system. Over time, your brain learns to compensate for this effect by being more active, more accelerated, in an attempt to maintain balance. When you suddenly stop drinking, the brain continues in that accelerated state, only now without the alcohol to slow it down. The result? The body goes into alert mode. In the first 24 to 72 hours, it's common to experience irritability, anxiety, difficulty sleeping, headaches, and even unusual night sweats. Some people report mild tremors or a racing heart. This doesn't mean you're sick. It means your body is readjusting. Important notice: people who drink heavily and frequently may experience more intense withdrawal symptoms. If this happens, medical attention is essential. Don't try to deal with it alone. But for most people who drink socially or moderately, this period passes in 2 or 3 days. And after it passes, the body begins to give very clear signs that something is changing for the better. Did you make it to the first full week? Your liver is already celebrating. The liver is the main organ responsible for metabolizing alcohol in your body. Every time you drink, it works. And when it works too hard for too long, it starts to accumulate fat, a process called hepatic steatosis, or fatty liver disease. The good news is that the liver has an impressive ability to recover when you give it a break. Studies published in British medical journal studies have shown that people who stopped drinking for 4 weeks experienced a significant reduction in liver enzyme levels, markers used to assess whether the liver is under stress. Some participants saw these levels drop in less than 2 weeks. In practice, what does this mean for you? Less abdominal bloating, less feeling of heaviness after eating, slightly smoother digestion. The body begins to process nutrients more efficiently because the liver is no longer overloaded. You can't feel your liver working. It doesn't hurt when it's healthy. Unfortunately, it only hurts when it's very unhealthy. But the signs appear throughout the body, and we'll see more of them now. Week 2. The sleep you lost without knowing it. Many people drink at night precisely because they think alcohol helps them sleep. And I understand. It relaxes you, slows down your thoughts. It seems to make it easier to fall asleep. But that's one of the biggest illusions that alcohol creates. What really happens is this: alcohol may help you fall asleep faster, but it fragments your sleep later on. It suppresses REM sleep, which is the deepest and most restorative phase of sleep, the one in which the brain consolidates memories, processes emotions, and the body repairs itself. When you drink, you can sleep for 8 hours and wake up exhausted. And many people live like this without realizing that the problem is the glass of wine from the night before. In the second week without alcohol, most people begin to notice a change in their sleep. You may start dreaming more, and this is a sign that REM sleep has returned. You may wake up more rested even if you slept the same amount. The feeling of dragging through the day will decrease. Research shows that alcohol-induced REM sleep suppression decreases as the body adapts to the absence of the substance, and that overall sleep quality tends to improve consistently over weeks of abstinence. This is one of the benefits that most surprises people who take on the challenge. Nobody expected to sleep better, but that's what happened. And there's more. You know that slight puffiness in your face? That redness in your nose and cheeks? That skin that looks tired even after sleeping? Much of this may be due to alcohol. Alcohol is a powerful diuretic. It causes the body to eliminate more fluid than normal, leading to dehydration. And when skin cells become dehydrated, they lose volume, elasticity, and their famous glow. But it doesn't stop there. Alcohol also causes systemic inflammation, an inflammatory response that spreads throughout the body and directly affects the skin, potentially worsening conditions such as acne, rosacea, and dermatitis. In the second week without alcohol, the skin begins to respond. Puffiness decreases, redness lessens. Pores appear less dilated. Some people notice a visible improvement in dark circles because sleep has improved and fluid retention has decreased. A study published by Alcohol Research Studies have shown that inflammation caused by regular alcohol consumption has a direct impact on skin health, and that stopping alcohol consumption is associated with improvements in inflammatory markers. Of course, everyone's skin reacts differently. But the most common testimonial from those who take the 30-day challenge is simple. My skin has never looked so good. If you're enjoying this content, follow me here on the channel. Follow and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos. Week 3 is when a lot of things change inside in a way that you feel but don't see. Alcohol directly interferes with the brain's reward system, especially dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation. When you drink, there is an artificial increase in dopamine. Over time, the brain adapts and begins to produce less dopamine naturally because it knows it will have the external reinforcement of alcohol. When you stop drinking, this system needs to adjust. In the first few weeks, it's common to feel a certain emptiness, a lack of pleasure in everyday things, as if everything has become a little less interesting. This has a name. It's the dopaminergic rebalancing period, and it passes. By the third week, most people begin to notice that this emptiness has gone away. Simple things start to bring pleasure again. Motivation returns. That underlying feeling of anxiety that was always present begins to diminish. This is no coincidence. Studies show that alcohol, even in moderate amounts consumed regularly, is associated with increased baseline anxiety levels. That is, the anxiety you feel on a daily basis for no apparent reason. Many people drink to relieve anxiety without realizing that alcohol itself is one of the causes of it. It's a cycle. And the third week is when that cycle begins to break. This is the item that goes most viral when it comes to the 30-day alcohol-free challenge. Not because it's the most important thing, but because people are shocked by the result. Alcohol is extremely high in calories. 1 gram of alcohol has 7 calories, almost twice the calories of 1 gram of carbohydrate. A glass of wine has around 120 calories, a long neck beer about 150, a caipirinha, it can easily exceed 200 calories. These are calories that have no nutritional value. They have no protein, no fiber, no vitamins. They are called empty calories precisely for that reason. When you cut out alcohol, you automatically eliminate those calories without changing anything else in your routine. But there's another factor that few people consider. Alcohol increases cortisol levels, the stress hormone. Elevated cortisol is associated with fat accumulation, especially in the abdominal region. Without alcohol, cortisol tends to normalize. And then there's the effect alcohol has on appetite. It disrupts hunger hormones, making you eat more, especially fatty and high-calorie foods after drinking. With all of this combined, fewer calories consumed, less cortisol, less food cravings. It's not uncommon for people to lose 2 to 4 kilos over 30 days without dieting. Of course, this will depend on how much the person drank before. But the logic is simple. When you eliminate alcohol, the body has an easier time regulating its own weight. It arrived last week, and that's when the internal markers, those that only appear on one test, start telling a very interesting story. Alcohol has a direct effect on blood pressure. Regular consumption, even in moderation, is associated with an increase in systolic and diastolic blood pressure, the two numbers used in blood pressure measurements. A study published in JAMA Network Open, a 2023 study with over 48,000 participants, showed that reducing or eliminating alcohol consumption is associated with a measurable reduction in blood pressure. The results were more pronounced in people who drank more frequently, but also appeared in moderate drinkers. In addition to blood pressure, triglycerides, a type of fat in the blood associated with cardiovascular risk, also tend to decrease after periods of abstinence. The liver, which was busy metabolizing alcohol, returns to processing fats more efficiently. This doesn't mean that 30 days without alcohol will solve a heart problem, but the data shows that the heart responds when alcohol is removed from the equation. In practice, some people notice that their resting heart rate has decreased, that the feeling of a racing heart at night has diminished, that waking up in the morning has become less arduous. 30 days, you made it. Let's take stock of what studies show happens to the body at the end of this period. Liver, reduction of liver enzymes, decrease in fat accumulation in the organ, improvement in nutrient processing. IM, increased REM sleep time, less nighttime fragmentation, more alertness upon waking. Before, less inflammation, more hydration, reduced swelling and redness. Brain, rebalancing the dopamine system, reducing background anxiety and improving mental clarity. Weight, consistent weight loss was observed in a large portion of people who drank regularly, mainly due to the elimination of empty calories and a reduction in cortisol. Heart, a tendency for blood pressure and triglycerides to fall. Now, one important thing that needs to be said honestly. These results vary from person to person. They depend on how much the person drank before, their genetics, lifestyle, and other habits. There is no universal formula. There is consistent data showing that the human body responds very well when alcohol consumption is removed from routine for a significant period. And after 30 days, what happens to most people? A study by University College London followed people who participated in the movement Dry January, the alcohol-free January that is popular in the United Kingdom. The results showed something interesting. 6 months after the challenge, people who completed the 30 days drank less frequently in smaller quantities and reported having more control over their own consumption, even those who started drinking again afterward. It's not that the challenge transforms you into someone who will never drink again. It's that it changes your relationship with alcohol. You realize you can have fun without it. That sleep is better without alcohol. That anxiety decreases. And when you go back to drinking, if you go back, you do it more consciously because now you know what the other side is like. There's also the rebound effect that nobody talks about. Some people who start drinking again after 30 days feel the effects of alcohol much more intensely because their bodies have lost some of their tolerance. This can be a problem if the person isn't prepared for it, because the feeling of "I'm fine" takes longer to arrive, which can lead to drinking more in a single episode. So, if you get to day 30 and decide to start drinking again eventually, take it slow. Your body isn't the same as it was a month ago, so that's it. 30 days and a body that goes from a state of adaptation to alcohol to a state of complete reset. It's not magic. It's not a miracle. It's biology. The liver regenerates, sleep improves, the skin responds, the brain rebalances, the heart benefits. And the scale, in most cases, shows a lower number. All this without medication, without radical diets, without going to the gym every day. Just by stopping putting a substance into your body that, however normalized it may be socially, has a real cost for your body. Now tell me in the comments, have you ever done or would you consider doing the 30-day alcohol-free challenge? What benefit surprised you the most? If you've made it this far, you probably enjoy content that gets straight to the point and discusses health based on evidence. Subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more content like this coming soon. Click the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and you'll be the first to know when the next video is released. Until next time.